Hey, I'm Lex.
And I'm Serena,
host of the Dream Body Playbook Podcast,
a show all about transforming your life
and your body to what you've always dreamed of.
On our show, you're going to find hella inspiring guests,
and you'll get weight loss tips galore from top pros in the industry.
And you're going to hear fitness secrets from the CCP team.
Plus, you'll get nutrition and training help with our Is It Worth It episodes, where we'll review the latest trends hitting the internet to let you know if it's actually worth your time.
Listen every Wednesday to the Dream Body Playbook. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Welcome back to another episode of the Dream Body Playbook Podcast.
Welcome back.
We are coming at you today with everyone's favorite Is It Worth It episode.
I feel like we haven't done one of these in a hot minute.
We haven't.
But people like them.
People love them.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this one.
Got some good stuff on the docket today, you guys.
We are getting a bunch of episodes recorded today. And
we're pulling through. Well,
this is the fourth one we're recording today because you guys... As we mentioned, 3 episodes now at this point? We're busy gals.
4 and 4 hours, baby.
We like to plan and make sure that we get the content we need for you guys out and ready to rock and roll. We're wrapping up a long day of recording in the studio with an Is It Worth It episode. Let's talk about the first one because...
Let's do it.
I feel like this is something that a lot of people hear.
Yeah.
A lot of people really believe. There is some studies out there about it. If you really look at which we'll dive into in a second, the meat and potatoes of it, irrelevant. Anywho, you can only absorb 30 grams of protein at a time. Anything over it, you're essentially pooping it out.
And this is more of like a myth busting portion, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's not really like an is it worth it? Is 30 grams of protein worth it? Yes.
Right, always. Yeah, so just hearing some things from people, and honestly, I read a couple articles on some sites too, saying that you're basically just going to poop out anything over 30 grams of protein because your muscles can't absorb it.
Right, and you guys, same thing goes for like everything we talk about with food and nutrition. Everyone needs different amounts of protein.
Yep.
Like Serena's protein needs, ours are obviously going to be a little bit closer as we are females, similar in age and similar in size. Like ours is going to be similar, but if you compared yours to Christian's or mine to Nick's, like completely different protein needs. And so everyone's body is going to need a different number. You can't apply one number
to everybody.
Exactly. You can't say 30 grams of protein here, 30 grams of protein there, because it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So in general,
because if that was the case, like, okay, if you have 200 grams of protein that you need to meet for a day.
What's up, y'all? So we don't run ads on this podcast, and we probably won't ever. Our goal here is to share as much information and value with you as possible, with a little entertainment, of course. But with that, we need your help in getting the word out about the Dream Body Playbook. So all we're asking for you to do is send this episode to a friend that you think would really benefit from it, or share it on your social media stories and tag us. Also, one other thing we're going to be doing is giving away a $100 Amazon gift card to someone who rates and reviews this podcast every single month. So thank you in advance, and we're looking forward to reading your reviews, but we'll get back to the episode.
You can only eat 30 at a time. You'd have to eat like 8 times a day just to get there.
Right, exactly. And
that's just unrealistic.
It's kind of a load of shit.
Yeah.
Honestly. So are there some people whose body maybe can't process over 30 grams of carbs or protein? Carbs, where'd that come from? 30 grams of protein in one sitting? Sure, maybe. Is it specifically for you?
I've never heard of that, though.
I don't know. Yeah, your body is going to utilize the nutrients you give it. And that's the thing that I want you guys to hear the importance of. If you have 40 grams of carbs in one sitting, or 50 grams of carbs in one sitting, or 60 grams of carbs in one sitting, that extra 30 grams or whatever it is above 30, it's not going to go to waste. Your body's going to use it. Your body's going to metabolize it as a protein and amino acid going into your muscle stores. And like we were talking about, if you're also like in a surplus and working to build muscle, you especially need more protein.
Well, and I think the thing that gets confused is, I think it's because people forget or maybe mix it up with the fact that protein does, quote unquote, take longer to digest.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe they're like, oh, well, it only absorbs 30 at a time. When really, I'm pretty sure your body can digest like 10 grams of protein per hour or something like that. I saw that somewhere. I don't know how true that is.
And when you pair the protein too, like you guys, you aren't just eating like, unless it's like a protein shake or something, but even if you have protein shakes, there's carbohydrates.
There's carbs in it.
Yeah, there's carbs in it. So you're not just having like protein normally by itself, unless you're just like, I guess, pounding chicken or something.
Right.
But, I mean, there are ways to do that, but ideally you should be having a balanced plate with fats, carbs, protein, fiber, micronutrients, vegetables, whatever it may be, so that the digestion process is easier on your body. It's slower because you do want your digestion to go slower because it's going to control your blood sugar levels to go slower, not your digestion.
You remember when I said that protein is the only one that people have never said bad things about, but I feel like this is kind of their way of doing that. Because it's like
true.
Carbs make you fat, fats make you fat. Oh, you can only have 30 grams of protein per sitting.
Yeah, that's so true. It's like they take the one good one. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and they try to demonize it. Yeah. Dang.
That's a good thought. But not the digestion. You don't want your digestion tract and stuff like that moving slower. Like, that's not what I meant. I meant like the way your body is metabolizing and digesting your food, your blood sugar levels and stuff like that. You want that to be slower so you're not getting those crashes and spikes and stuff.
Right. And that's why it's important to eat your protein and your fiber to make sure that your blood sugar is being stabilized like that, not going up and down and up and down and up and down, because then you just be hungry all the time.
Exactly. And you guys, you can get your fiber from like complex carbohydrates, which will even wrap in that balance plate even more. Yep. And then most of the time there's some type of fat paired there, whether it be avocado or avocado or olive oil or avocado oil, whatever you want.
There you go.
Cooking, it's been a long day, you guys.
I know.
Cooking with like whatever protein you're using and stuff. So just don't stress about the number as much. Don't stress about, oh, I can only have 30 grams of protein. Stress more about like, oh, do I have a balanced plate in front of me?
Yep.
Is this going to fuel me and satisfy me and keep my blood sugar levels stable? That, that's what I want you guys to worry about more.
Yep. And if you are the type of person that maybe likes to break your meals down to make sure you're getting enough protein in, sure, shoot for like 30 to 35 per meal.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that if you have a meal with 50 grams of protein, that everything else after 30 is going to go to waste.
Right. Exactly. So this is not really like an is it worth it, like we said. 30 grams of protein is worth it, but you can also go above 30 grams of protein.
Is it true that 30 grams of protein is only absorbed per session? No, absolutely not.
Sweet. Okay, next. You talk about this one because Serena told me this one today, and I was like,
she was like, what?
What the hell is that?
Well, I had the same thought. Okay. Yeah. I was on Facebook one day and I saw something about, and it was an article about #water talk. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, everyone's
trending.
I was like, yes, we love when water is trending, right? Because we always tell you guys to drink your water and stay hydrated. So I'm like, but then the subheadline was how this is dangerous for your health. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Is this going to be like medical professionals trying to tell us that we're drinking like excessive amounts of water?
Yeah.
So I click on it, and it was not at all what I expected.
Yeah, when she had to like,
I had to show her the article.
I need a video and an article because I don't get what you're saying.
Because I was like, okay, there's these people on TikTok that are making like cocktails out of their water. Yeah. And she was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, they're putting like skinny syrups in their water to get more water.
Yo, legit, it's cocktails. It's essentially juice. Like, just drink juice at this point. We looked up the ingredients for like a skinny syrup, and I'm pulling it up on the laptop now so we can
because the whole thing is like, oh, like I'm getting my water and I'm making it taste good and it's 0 calories.
Right. And like, sure, it's 0 calories and sure, there is water in that, but like there's also natural flavors, salt, cellulose gum, caramel flavoring, citric acid, sodium benzoate, and potassium sorbate. And you guys, specifically caramel color, if you want to like...
Yeah, let's not forget the red dyes and stuff.
For sure.
Yep.
We watched one and this girl like was putting in some type of like raspberry skinny syrup or something, and it just like looked like blood in the water. It was just like straight red, and I was like, well, there's all that red 40. Like,
because she put in 3 different things and they're
all red.
All red.
Yep. And you guys, like caramel coloring, red 40, these are like carcinogenic foods that cause cancer, and there's a lot of research to back that up. And so, yeah, sure, maybe you're drinking more water and it's 0 calories and you're not going to gain weight off of it, but there are so many more long-term effects to this. It's actually really dangerous.
Yeah, so
not worth it.
Not worth it at all, y'all. We care about your health, so we had to bring this one to your attention.
Now, I know this might also like trigger some questions about like, what about like the Mios, like peach Mios that you do and stuff like that. Okay, that's fine if you want to do that every once in a while, or like
Crystal Light.
Yeah, Crystal Light. Thank you. I wanted to say Kool-Aid because I know Kool-Aid has packets too, but Crystal Light as well. I just think these girls are doing it like every day.
Every day.
Like they have it set up like their coffee station.
Yeah, and they're mixing and matching. It's like, okay, we're not saying nothing is wrong with one every once in a while, but one, like, I would still recommend checking the ingredient list.
Oh, for sure.
And number 2, don't be doing it all day, every day. Like, they're portraying.
Like, a lot of times people will do Mio in their drink, like, once a day or, like, on the weekends or something if they're making a mixer or something like that, which no problem at all. That's fine. Everything is balanced, right? Everything in moderation. That's where I was going. Everything in moderation. Another thing to think about, you guys, these things make your freaking drink so sweet. And it's because it's got all of that, like, aspartame and stuff like that in it. And so, what you looking for?
Oh, look for the sea moss.
Oh.
I'm like, why is it going the opposite way?
It's all the way down here. But it's got all of these things that are just going to, like, wreak havoc on your gut health. But it's thinking about all of the, like, aspartame and stuff that's just doing damage on your gut health and inflammation. And I've seen a lot of, like, the videos that you were showing me, like, these girls look inflamed though. Like, they look puffy. They don't look like, sure, they're drinking juice and stuff. And
have you heard health and fitness coaches talk about how your metabolism can help you burn fat even while you're sleeping? And you just think, how? Trust me, we get it. It's all so confusing to know what you need to do to get your metabolism working the way you want it to. But today, you're in luck. We have created a done-for-you daily checklist that will set your metabolism on fire. All you have to do is DM us checklist and we will send it your way completely for free. All right, now let's get back to the episode.
And that's not me saying it mean at all, but if they're doing this for, like, long term, you've got to think about how it's affecting you.
And I want to point out, and these are going to be not my words, I'm quoting in the article that I read, but the person that wrote the article, I don't even remember what it was, but they had said something along the lines that this trend was quote unquote targeting white Southern, maybe overweight or just inflamed. I'm going to use the word inflamed. Women. That's what the article was saying. And then if you click on the hashtag on TikTok and you scroll down, that is the category that you see most of these people in water talk. It's just what it is.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just gullible. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
in short,
water talk, water cocktails, is it worth it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. You want to touch on the next one?
Yeah. So the next one is going to be sea moss.
Yeah.
So very popular in certain communities. Dr. CB, I think his name is. I think he passed away, actually, RIP. But he promotes sea moss a lot for, like, its anti-inflammatory benefits, the, like, immunity benefits, and the high vitamins and minerals that it has as well. So vitamin C, vitamin K, iron, and iodine.
Yeah. And a lot of those too tie in with, like, antioxidants, which will help with those inflammatory factors and stuff like that.
Yep.
A few things just to point out with this. It also helps support, like, gut health and stuff.
We love that.
There's prebiotic factors and fibers and stuff in it, which is great. There can be a lot of benefits to this.
Yeah.
Again, it's to each its own. It can also be really expensive. So mind that. If you have the means to make it work, go for it. But are we saying, like, oh, you have to start getting sea moss now? Like, no, that's not, like, the next big supplement that, like, you have to have.
Usually we don't tell you guys that. We just make recommendations based on facts and science, and then leave it up to your discretion of whether or not you want to spend your money on that.
Exactly. And I mean, just a few things to think about with sea moss. It's a new trend, right?
Yeah.
It's very new. There's not a lot of research on it.
True. It was very hard to find a peer-reviewed article.
Yeah. There's not a lot of research on it at all. So, I mean, use it at your own risk, you know, because it's not long-term people using it enough to know, like, are there any long-term side effects from using it? You know, things like that. It's a possible allergen as well, just like any other food and stuff. It could, you know, especially if you aren't used to, I guess, to, like, contamination, I should touch on, because with bacterias and stuff, like, it is an algae. Like, it's in the family of seaweed, so there is an algae there, and it does put you at risk for bacterias and heavy metals and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind as well.
And we don't know really where it comes from besides the seafloor.
Yeah, that's really it. And obviously, if you're using it and you're like, I feel a lot better, like, it adds something to my smoothies. Another thing I want to ask you guys, though, about sea moss is,
how do you know it's making you feel better?
Exactly, because I know you can't taste it in a smoothie, and that's typically where people are doing it. At least I hope you can't taste it.
I think that's kind of the point, so you don't taste it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it tastes very good. But if you are just changing your overall habits and stuff, there's no way to pinpoint that sea moss is actually making a big difference in your life. If you were to just eat your colorful fruits and veggies, whole foods, balanced diet, you're probably going to see the same effect and save a whole lot of money.
Yep,
So.
I absolutely agree. And just eating like a regular seaweed wrap or something with your sushi.
Just go get sushi, you guys.
Yeah, exactly. We're big sushi fans over here.
So is it worth it?
It could be 50-50, I feel like.
It can be 50-50. I'm going to say no, it's not worth it unless you just genuinely really want to try it and you have the means to do it. Go for it.
Yeah.
I personally will not be spending my own money on it.
I agree with that sentiment.
Okay, and the last one we wanted to touch on today's episode is BCAAs and EAAs. So if you don't know what these are, branched chain amino acids and essential amino acids. These are basically a really popular supplement that supports muscle growth, performance, recovery, things along those lines. Have a lot of the same benefits as like protein.
I just think they're a huge money grab by supplement companies.
Yeah, they are. This is another thing that's like a huge money grab because you can get all of the benefits out of these BCAAs and EAAs from natural sources of food and protein.
Now, you might argue, well, I'm a vegan or I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah.
However, if you pair certain foods together, you can still get those amino acids because we do know that some amino acids specifically only come from animal products.
Right.
And so maybe that's why you're thinking of that. So sure, if you want to spend your money on that, go ahead. But there's certain things where if you pair certain foods together, I think it's like beans and something else that you pair, I can't remember off the top of my head. But if you pair those together, you get those same amino acids. It's just obviously not from an animal.
Yeah. And you guys, getting BCAAs and EAAs in and stuff, it's not like you have to hit like a macro number with it. It's not like this exorbitant amount of needs for branched chain amino acids or essential amino acids. I promise you, if you're getting in a well-versed diet with, like I said, again, well-balanced, colorful, with lots of micronutrients and fueling yourself enough and properly, you're good. You don't need these.
Oh, yeah.
Like, seriously, you really don't need these, especially if you're fueling your workouts as you should be. So if you're getting in a good whole food source post-workout.
You guys are really loving and relating to this conversation and want to continue to learn more about this topic and countless others. Listen up. This is for you. We want to give you access to our free community of women on similar paths to you. Shoot us a DM on Insta with the word Facebook and we will get you in there ASAP.
Like, y'all are okay. There's in my opinion, there's no need to spend your money on BCAAs.
Yeah, they'd be expensive. They'd be like $45 a container.
They are expensive.
I could buy protein powder with that.
Exactly. And I would, if you guys had to pick between a supplement, I would rather you get protein powder.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to do way more benefit for your body when, like these are just.
If you are going to choose to spend your money on BCAAs, if you have extra money, I would also recommend looking at the ingredients because a lot of times they can be filled with extra fillers that you don't even need. So it's like if it's got, okay, here's my amino acids and you want to get those amino acids, great. But if it also has like, I don't know, red dye 40 in it or something completely unnecessary.
Yep.
I would just
steer clear.
Yeah.
And that's something too. I've seen, I can't remember what the brand was, but I've seen recently I've seen a lot of products, specifically one. I can picture the bottle, but I don't exactly know what it is. It might be Bloom, but I think I'm wrong there. Where these BCAAs and EAAs are like also greens, and it's like all tied into one and stuff. And so be wary of those as well too, because one, if you have allergies. So specifically for me, I was being poisoned by First Form for like the longest time because I was taking their greens powders, and if you ever see First Form stuff, they advertise as gluten-free, but yet one of the greens products that they have in their blend is like wheatgrass. And while that might not affect some people with like gluten allergies and stuff, people with celiac disease tend to be sensitive to wheatgrass and stuff. So it's like, no, it's not truly certified gluten-free then. Stop advertising it as that, So just little things like that in the ingredients labels, watch out for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet.
So in short, is it worth it?
No.
No.
Not at all. Let's recap these four real quickly. 30 grams of protein.
Worth it. But the fact that it is only 30 grams of protein is absorbed is not true.
Yeah. You can have more than 30 grams of protein in one sitting.
Exactly.
Water cocktails. God, please don't.
Please, no, not worth it.
Like, I seriously can't stress enough, like, how dangerous this can actually be for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, okay, if you're thinking about it, this is just as dangerous. And the amount of water people are drinking with this, like, they're filling their Stanley cups up with it.
Oh, yeah. And they're probably having maybe multiple a day.
Right. So this is essentially the same thing as drinking like
Battery
2 liters
fluid.
of, yeah, basically, but 2 liters of like Diet Coke or like a
A
day,
day.
you guys, a day. And you like, that's just not something your body knows how to handle.
Yep.
So please stay away from it. CMOS, up to you.
Up to you. Worth my money? Probably not.
No, yeah. Don't waste on these last two. We don't recommend wasting your money off. If you are like dying to try it and you're like, I just have to try it, try it. Do whatever.
Yeah, if you got them
it's not going to hurt you by any means unless you do end up having like an allergy to it or something along those lines. But please do be wary about the bacteria content and possible heavy metals. So
yeah,
that is one big thing. And then BCAAs or EAAs. Not worth it.
Money.
Not worth it. Just eat whole foods, get your proper amount of protein in that you need, fuel yourself properly, and you're good to go.
Yep, because it's not like it's providing you with the protein content.
Right. No.
I think this is what protein powder is for.
No. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. All right, you guys. Cool. Well, if you have any questions about these, as always, let us know. If you have any recommendations for ones that you want us to go over, please let us know. We would appreciate that. Sweet.
All right, guys.
All right, y'all. We will talk to you next Wednesday. Hope everyone has a fabulous week.
Bye.
Bye.